हेलो फोक्स। आज इंटरव्यू होगा डेटामेटिक्स के साथ, आधे घंटे चलेगा और इसमें टेक्नोलॉजी देख रहे हैं वो Node.js और एंगुलर। देखते हैं क्या होता है। थैंक यू।
So you have worked on both Angular and React. So which one is better?
इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द यूज केस और नो वन इज
So tell me the
बेटर।
use case, some of the use case where React is better.
So virtual DOM is there, so you need to grab some quick rendering over the frequent rendering over the application, then better to go with the React. But again, Angular does support in change detection strategy. They are partially supporting those concepts. So we can control the rendering using CDR. And again, it depends what is the bench strength you have, and how team is comfortable with those things. So nothing
Okay.
nothing is priority.
Okay. So you are having any idea about the logistic domain?
No logistic domain, no, never.
Okay, but you know how exactly it works, at least from the Amazon or Flipkart on daily basis which you are using.
Yes,
So if I tell you create an architecture for one of these particular Flipkart or Amazon, so how can we do that?
I need some blueprint from the existing existing design, and what are the resources you are providing us, and then only we are able to design the architect for those. And it requires lots of things, so before say design anything, so the initial requirement will be very high. And
But at least you can
yeah.
get some idea how the models will be, how the database structure will be, if you
Okay,
can give me some
so
idea.
yeah, so there are two accounts. Usually people do work with. One is the buyer and one is the seller. So which account do you wish to target? Uh, so things will go like this. So for buyer, it will be a different stuff. Uh, mm, the design will be different for buyer, and for seller it will be different. And so we need to distinguish first of all those for whom you are going to work with, the buyer or seller.
Okay, okay, we will come to the Angular phase. Angular. So which version of Angular you are working right now?
Angular 11 was the last I used.
Okay. Suppose I am on Angular 8 now and I want to upgrade it to 11. So how can we do that?
It does work period. It does take periodical updates. It is not like you
Correct.
immediately jump to the 11. You need to go to 9
Oh,
or 10 and then 11. So you need
correct. But
you.
have you tried it before for any of the project?
No, not tried, but yes, I have tested it for the sake of learning. I have done that in free time. I have done that, so it is not possible to update the package JSON and run the install. It will not work like that.
Okay. Whenever we are trying to communicate between one parent to child, so how can we communicate between both of them in Angular?
So using input output decorators we can use.
And if I want to do between the siblings or the child to child,
Okay, you mean the parent and the grandchild.
no, 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 any child to
Okay,
any other
sibling.
child, not the
Okay,
parent.
those nodes are not connected directly. Go with the services. Use observables, either subject or observable or behavior subject. Any one of them will work for this case. You need to subscribe, and
What is what is subject?
again it is a event-driven programming. We do perform part of NGRX where we keep an eye on the variable to update it. Whenever it will update, the subscription will take care of that. So this is how we handle the asynchronous request, which may arise, come anytime, and we maintain the latest value, fetch the latest value out of it. So those are the things.
Okay, suppose you have created one subject in the service and you have subscribed it in one of the component
Mm-hmm.
and you forgot to unsubscribe it. So what will happen if you forgot to unsubscribe?
So subscription will be there. It will keep busy your one watcher. So watcher will be there. So which will not be a best practice. But eventually, Angular will collect it. Angular will discard it, but you remove the component, and then the cycle will take place, cleaning cycle. But better to remove it in ng destroy. Otherwise, it will be there for long.
Okay. You have idea of Node,
Yes,
Node.js.
yes.
So what you have written so far in Node.js, what you are doing in Node.js?
So
You have written API or
yes.
front end you are using?
No. I have written APIs for that using MongoDB, Mongoose, in the middleware, and Express.js for the HTTP request. Creating the
Okay, suppose I want to pass a token to the Node.js API from the Angular with each and every HTTP request, then how can we do that?
So in Mongoose there is a provision to pass one auth token in the second parameter. It does accept.
No, I am talking about the Angular one. How can we send with each and every request the token from Angular?
From Angular, okay, but you need to pass it into the header, or in HTTP interceptor is there. You will pass the token every time.
Okay. And what is normal life cycle of the one of the token which is created by your Node.js application?
So life cycle, it depends how much seconds, milliseconds you have set it in the Node.js application. So the life cycle is.
In your current project, what you are doing?
So
In your current project, how was the implementation?
We are keeping it for 5 minutes.
And then what you are doing?
We are just deleting that token ID from the from the DB.
Okay. And then again you are asking for login or what?
Yes, we redirect. So let's say if he tries to hit and the token is not there in the DB, then the user will be redirected to the login page, the landing page.
But normally suppose 5 minutes is very less and I want to continue the session, right? Without
Yes.
asking user that you have to log in it again.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we do that?
So you need to keep
I don't want to ask user that you want to log in again. I have to regenerate a new token automatically.
You need to keep a copy of both the tokens in that case, the previous one and the next one. So whenever you got the older token, you will pass it the request and update the existing token as well. So that
Have you worked with any idea like refresh token?
no, but other technology, because that time it was Java. In Java, I was getting those things. But I was not Java expert in that time. But yes, I know how it works. I have understanding of that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it does happen like this. So the token has to be generated by the server every time.
How Express work in Node.js? What is the use of Express?
So Express gives you some guards, and it prevents a few those those security leaks and those things which you normally don't bother about to address, but those are very important.
Are you familiar with the Azure?
Nah, but AWS I have worked, but not Azure.
What in AWS you have worked so far?
I work on EC2 instances, the load balancer, Route 53 S3 buckets, and uh, Lambda function, and yeah, these things.
Okay, so suppose there is one scenario. Normally in Java or .NET, they are capable of handling more and more requests. Okay, but Node.js will not able to handle such requests like Java and .NET. Okay, so
Yes.
how can we achieve that so that each and every request means at the time of loading, since there are so much load at that time, that Node.js service able to survive properly. So what we can do for that?
Uh-huh. We can use clusters. Cluster dot we can fork the clusters, and once it is done, we can destroy those or keep it in the queue for rest of the things. So clustering is a good option for that time.
Okay, so you just talk about the load balancer. What is the use of load balancer? Then what you are using?
But
What purpose you are using?
your application is deployed on multiple servers. Now, load balancer duty is to equally distribute the traffic among all the available instances. So, 3 instances are there, 30 instances are there. So, accordingly, it will pass the request. Let's say instance A will get, then B, then C, and then again A, B, C, A, B, C. So, load balancer pass the request in this order. So whatever instance we have,
Okay,
we are utilizing in optimum way.
okay. Uh, okay. That's the idea. Just a moment. Okay. You are familiar with the Docker?
Yeah, familiar
How
with
you are
Docker.
doing your deployment now? How you are doing your deployment of Angular application basically?
So Docker file is there, uh, which which ti- uh, which has certain environment and the commands needs to run. It will create a container. That container will be deployed with the help of Jenkins. And although I am not doing those things right now, the DevOps guy is there, and the Jenkins is further take the build and uh, take the and put it on the your uh, your whatever instance you are running with.
Okay. Okay, suppose you are having one production case scenario where suppose the API is taking too much time and after 30 seconds suppose it was breaking on the production. So how can we identify or handle this particular production case scenario?
Okay, you need to check the logs
Correct.
and let's check why it is happening, and uh, if it is breaking, then we might need to restart some services. Some network problem might be there. Let's say a CDN is broken, for example, and we need to restart, or we need to check the health of the other instances and the other services whatever we are using during that period of time.
Okay. First thing I'm done with the interview. Okay. So I will just share my feedback and they will get feedback. Okay?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
एंड दैट इज़ ऑल फोक्स फॉर टुडे. ठीक ठीक हुआ, देखते हैं क्या होता है. एल्वा नहीं था तो इसलिए कुछ उन्होंने ज़्यादा पूछा नहीं. थैंक यू.